People used to tell me, like, when I think I was probably like high school, wow, your voice when you talk on the phone, you should be like a porn star. Because I had a much lower register. I don't know why, but I used to talk like this on the phone, like all the time. I don't know.
But you do have a good speaking voice, Liberty.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's so. I love it.
Oh,
you know what?
thanks.
I would do a 976 number to hear you say dirty things.
I can say them for free, baby. Don't you?
Hey.
I love it.
Right. So, can we stop talking smut and get down to business?
That's a big ask for a Madonna fan.
That's right. It's part of our mission statement.
Yeah.
You know, I need a mission statement. 4 years into this, and I haven't come up with one yet. But if you're going to talk to me, that's exactly what you're going to have to do. Talk to me.
Ooh, you got me just so crazy over you. We love Madonna. We love Madonna. We love Madonna. We love Madonna.
Well. You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna, Louise, Veronica Ciccone. Hey, everybody, it's Ben.
Tropical, the island breeze. If only. Except it's really cold here. Hi, everybody. It's Liberty. I'm back.
Yeah, it's freezing over here as well. Hey, everybody, it's Stefan. Thanks for joining us for another episode of MLVC. This is our Thanksgiving episode, and the number one thing we were always thankful for, of course, is Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, I gotta say, you're getting much, much better at that opening. You're vivacious and vibrant, and I really believe that you're happy to be podcasting.
I'm trying to both articulate and twang at the same time. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Tis not. Liberty knows.
Oh, well, yes. That is the biggest challenge. Yes. Twangy, but yet refined.
Yes,
How does one do
exactly.
it? How does one marry those two?
I don't have a twang, so I've had this, I don't have that crutch to lean on. But
We start another podcast just dedicated to the twang with refined qualities.
I'm into it.
So since this is our Thanksgiving episode, I did want to, before we jumped into everything, Liberty, tell me, what are you thankful for with Madonna?
Well, what am I not thankful for? I think sometimes it's easier to answer the question with, looking at what it isn't, right? But honestly, I'm truthfully thankful that Madonna is pushing still with, against ageism primarily. As I am now in my 40s at 45. I don't feel the same that I felt when I was 25. But I still want to be able to express myself in the same way that I did at 25, without the repercussions. And so I would say I'm thankful for her fight against ageism.
And Ben, as you swill your cocktail of choice for this evening, what are you thankful for with Madonna?
I'm also thankful for her continuing to push the buttons, but even more so, I am thankful for a different example of how to age and do what you want. In terms of both creatively and personally. And, a lot of it is what we see and not necessarily what it is. And I appreciate that element as well, that we can still sort of have public and private selves as we get older, as someone who's inching toward 50. I have been thinking about it a lot lately. And, every time there's a controversy where, oh my gosh, she did this, but then it's like, well, why? Yeah, so it's just a lot to think about and an interesting example. Not necessarily for everybody, but I'm thankful that we have it, because it would be very easy in this current political world for us to not have it. So I appreciate that.
Well, and Stefan, what are you thankful for? Well, thank you for asking, Stefan. I'm very thankful that Madonna continues to create. We're about to get some new Madonna music, and I think that there was something so magical about the time right before we get to know anything about what she's doing. So like anything about the new song title or the lyrics, or before we get the visuals, before we get to hear the song for the very first time, there is just something so wonderful about that she continues to create for us. And it's sort of like, that's my version of Christmas, because I'm like, oh, there's a new Madonna song coming. And it's just, I'm giddy and joyful, and it's wonderful. So I'm very excited that we're on the precipice of another Madonna era, and who knows what she's going to be giving us, and that's half the fun. So.
And, this time around, we've not had a lot of teases. Like, yes, there have been like, are you ready? Sort of, little hints on social media. Are you ready? Am I ready? I'm always ready, Madonna. What are you talking about?
We live ready.
Yes.
Before we get into the rest of the show, just remember you can find us on Instagram at MLVC Podcast. You can also donate to the podcast. Throw us a little tip over at Venmo at MLVC Podcast, or think about becoming a subscriber on Patreon, patreon.podbean.com/MLVC Podcast, and help keep this show going. We are wrapping up our season 4. I can't believe that I could say that, but don't worry, because season 5 is definitely coming. We'll launch in late January, and we've got a bevy of fun already planned in the works, just like Madonna. We can't say what it is, but it's coming. So another thing we are thankful for is that Madonna does not stop feeding us. She is always on the go. And Liberty, can you do the, she'll take us there.
She'll take us there.
Exactly. We've got a lot to discuss today, so don't just stand there. Let's get to it. It's time for a little This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
I think the first thing I wanted to talk about was another Terry Joe segment back. It feels like it was another lifetime ago already, but another Terry Joe segment. To me, there were 2 takeaways. Obviously, the biggest takeaway was the farewell to Pink Donna. Liberty, can you sing a little This Used to Be My Playground?
This used to be my playground.
It was sad to see Pink Donna go.
I know.
I don't know. I like Auburn Donna. I'm not going to lie.
It's a good fall color.
Correct. My whole thought was, I really hope Auburn Donna is going to be as fun as Pink Donna. And then just as fast as I think that, Madonna's doing poppers.
Yeah, I mean, that was Terry Joe. I think she was even like, wait, what do I do there? What do I say there? It wasn't an expected, but I thought it was funny. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
It was very funny.
Then the next thing we see with Auburn Donna is Madonna's Halloween costume. What did you all think of the Queen of Hearts?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
And gosh, I mean, first of all, I don't know. Maybe the Auburn was for that. I don't know, because it worked so well.
So good.
But she's just incredible. Like an absolute Renaissance painting. When she is, because she's so much fuller now, and she has that, this long hair. And I really liked her post where she's like, when will you understand that I'm a person and not a thing?
Yeah.
Which I was like, hey, she's been listening to some early MLVC. I know her. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I love that line. Oh, it's so good.
You know what's interesting? For my take on Auburn Donna is there have been a couple periods when she went red hair and we got really great stuff afterwards, including Confessions. I'm just saying. I had to go back through the Google image archive and I was like, okay, let me date all this stuff. And I was like, oh, the last time she went full on red while she was in a creative mode, we got Confessions. Oh,
it definitely reminded me of that too. And I thought, does red hair equate danceability? And and house vibe.
Well,
Maybe.
here's from your lips to Madonna's ears, Liberty.
Electronic joy. Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
hope so.
I think it's possible because I think it's a good time. It's a good time for really like bopping Madonna dance
do
record.
redheads have more fun? I mean,
I feel like
we'll
it's a
find
probable
out.
thing.
I don't know. I've only been a redhead once for about a month.
How did that work out then?
I mean, it was okay.
That's how I feel about having red hair myself. Like, it's all right.
It was okay.
I had auburn hair when I've told you all about how I went goth Donna, and that was a horrendous look for me. But it was a semi-permanent, so it started washing out, and I was in the sunshine of the spring weather, and it had stained my blonde hair that I had underneath. So I ended up having auburn hair for spring.
Oh,
it was
gosh.
actually a
Oh,
brassy
wow.
look for me. Again, didn't really work, but it was fun to have for that.
Fun
that season.
nonetheless. Yeah. Fingers crossed, though,
Yeah.
for the music. Oh,
I mean, it was very quickly. There was this post that she made where she's sort of in all white, like a white corset, and then the lighter colored fishnets.
Yes.
And that's the "Are You Ready" post, right, or something like that.
Yes,
where
I'm
like,
wondering if that was
oh.
the visuals for upcoming something. I don't know, but
Backdrop.
Yes, we will see something. That look will come back around. Don't you? Girlfriend, don't waste looks just on Instagram posts these days. She's at work.
Yeah, I mean, of course, she does have her, love for photo shoots.
True.
In the middle of the night.
So speaking of photo shoots, can we talk about her lime green sweater photo shoot in what looked like her garage?
Let's.
So she was cavorting atop a motorcycle and pretending to lick food out of a dog bowl. And for some strange reason, shockingly, people were outraged that she would do something so scandalous. And I just have to LOL at how ridiculous people are that get upset over her doing something so silly and trite. It's Instagram, people. We want entertainment, and Madonna is feeding us. She's serving us entertainment. Did you see the Instagram post? And if you did, what were your reactions about her licking food or pretending to lick out of a dog bowl offensive to you, Benjamin? What did you think?
well, I saw it. I enjoyed it. But I also got that it was connected to the song that was soundtracking the post, which was the Stooges, which takes you back to like punk and punk pop. And, she's been a huge fan of Iggy for like a bajillion years. So circle this back to the Terry Joe thing, right? In terms of things that people don't get and things that they do get. I actually had two different people forward me who are under the age of 30, who forwarded me, knowing that I'm a big Madonna fan, they forwarded me the Terry Joe thing from their TikTok account. One, as if I have TikTok. Two, as if I hadn't seen it already.
Right.
And it was so cute because that actually got like the positive engagement and interest of people in that demographic that she seems to be aiming for with that activity. But then the Instagram outrage, which made no sense if you realize the song that was playing and the relationship there. And, also previously Voices from Hard Candy, and then also the Express Yourself video, all these sort of self-references happening in that photo shoot with that song. And it was just like, and then I started thinking, okay, well, who's on Instagram? The people watching this on Instagram probably aren't watching the Terry Joe thing. So it's going in all these different directions in terms of talking about people getting outraged. And I'm like, I think these are just people who want to get upset. They need something to be like upset about to give them something to do. But I loved it. And I love that it was sort of like a cheeky homage to Iggy and the Stooges.
Well, and I mean, look, people treat Madonna like a dog. They're really, really rude to her. If you read her Instagram comments, it is people just telling her to go hide in a corner, grow old, get over it. You're not young anymore, retire. I mean, I can tell, obviously I could go on, but I don't agree with it because in a way, it's almost as if they treat her, right? And she's like, you know what? And just like she posted that TikTok of her saying, I don't want to I would like to apologize to no one. And it's, this is, I want to be your dog. Like people people dog her all the time.
And Liberty, you're right, because people are getting outraged over things that she's doing. Whereas, so I don't know if y'all saw Jason Momoa, hottie Jason Momoa. Oh, thank you, Jason Momoa, for just living. He was on the Jimmy Kimmel show and disrobed, and we got to see his bear took us, and it was wonderful. Thank you again, Jason Momoa. But a couple months ago, when Madonna was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and you got to see her little tuchus flashed, people were, again, outraged that Madonna was showing her ass. And I'm like, well, this is a double standard. Why is Jason Momoa able to show his ass? And people were applauding him, being like, thank you, Jason, like myself.
Thank you.
But they were giving Madonna shade, saying that, she shouldn't be doing this. And poor Jimmy Fallon has to endure this. But everyone was loving that Jason Momoa did it to Jimmy Kimmel because they thought it was funny. And I was like, look, this is a boys club thing. And that's why Madonna's getting shit on, is because she's a woman and she's over 60. And they're just like, no, grandma, go away. And it's just, it's unfair.
It really is unfair. And, it has to do first with how old she is, but second, who she is, and that she's a woman. But if it were Ariana Grande doing that, or if Taylor Swift decided to, I mean, maybe that would be a little shocking because Taylor has a little bit of a pure side to her, right? A vanilla. Yes. So people sort of think of her as an accept. Yes, she has a little crazy in her.
She's family friendly.
Yes, she's. It's okay. Anyone younger than 40 female couldn't get away with it because people.
If anyone wants to show their ass on television, they're entitled to show their ass, right?
Yeah.
That's why God invented HBO. So
it's an ass. Everybody has one. So who cares? You know what I mean? Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it, but that's just because I don't want to.
Well, but Liberty, if you wanted to, you could. We'd support that.
Okay,
in fact, we would promote it on the show.
Let me know. You can.
I'll
tag you in my next Insta.
Benjamin, you already have. We've seen your ass. It's fine.
That's true.
It's quite perky. We know. We get it. You do squats.
And even got a book contract canceled once. But anyway, such a life.
You know this plight.
Oh, I know all about it, and it's very interesting. I don't even think it's as simple as ageism and sexism. I think it's a whole matrix of factors that can sort of perform some strange algorithm that you don't always know and can't always predict who's going to fall victim to that. So
okay, we don't have time to talk about Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss and The Matrix, but I really want to have this conversation and how Madonna factors into it. We will get to that offline. Another thing that Madonna did recently was she voted.
Good girl.
Can you imagine being at your polling place and Madonna comes strolling in? Yeah. There she is, Auburn Donna, with her braids and her puffy jacket and her Ricardo with his camera and his big ring light, and she's just trying to vote.
It would be a big thing for us, but for most people, I think they'd just be
those Upper East Side biddies. They were probably just like, God, here she is again. Why is she always taking pictures?
She's the worst neighbor.
Oh, they went to the poll watcher and were like, she's got too many people in here.
Yeah. They're not supposed to have cameras. That there right there is illegal.
Eunice, can you tell the poll watcher that she's not supposed to be there?
Because, there's some Republicans in her neighborhood that were going to be like little vultures
this is
watching
a Saturday
what was
Night
going
Live
on.
Sketch that I would love to see. A Saturday Night Live
that's a good idea.
Of just the poll workers at the poll when Madonna comes. I just want to see that. And you don't even have to see Madonna. It would just be funny to whoever's coming at that Upper East Side polling place. That would be fantastic. Saturday Night Live, you can credit me when you write that sketch.
I would want to see that skit. That is really funny.
Yeah, we're going to do that sketch. Okay. Start ruminating. And then hot off of voting for the D, because y'all know Madonna voted D. Up and down the board, she was D.
Capital Big D.
Big D energy, Madonna. She then hopped on a plane and flew across the pond to go see her god, Kendrick Lamar. Now, y'all know Madonna was there cribbing notes off of what Kendrick Lamar was doing on his stage show, because she's putting together a plan. And I got to say, the footage that she showed of Kendrick Lamar's show looked pretty amazing. I was stunned. I thought,
Oh, yeah.
wow.
I know a couple of
if
people
she
who
can lift some of this into her show, please do.
Yeah, a couple of people I know have actually seen his tour and said it's really, he's doing things that he's not done before, both technically and like in the performance, and that it's really interesting. So I'm not surprised she went to check it out, because we know she likes to see what everybody else is doing so that she does whatever is after that, you know.
Mhm.
So
Right.
I mean, it looked very avant-garde. The
Yes.
lighting and the staging looked phenomenal, and I have high hopes for whatever she's got coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. But I think there's more to it than just getting like ideas. I think that she really admires Kendrick. She wants,
oh yeah,
she of course would love to work with him, and
In a
possibly was
heartbeat.
there networking a little bit. The part that she posted was Kendrick has a dream and Martin Luther King had a dream, right? And I'm thinking, Madonna has a dream. We know this. She really wants to work with Kendrick. I don't think there are many, hidden messages with Madonna. I think we like to think that, but I think that she's pretty blatant sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and as you say, blatant messaging, I venture to say we are going to be getting an official tour announcement from Madonna in a scant few weeks. I can't say for certain, but
You feel
I
it.
have a feeling
It's coming.
come December, we're going to get an official tour announcement. So, like all Madonna fans like to say to each other, save your pennies, because
I was going to say,
those tickets are not going to come cheap.
let
They
me
are
know if you
not.
guys find out who's buying kidneys, because I'll have to sell one.
Ben, we know that you've just opened your OnlyFans, so you can start raising
I
some
mean,
money
I
there.
might have to.
Yeah.
Lord.
I've taken to cleaning homes in the buff, and it's, I gotta say, a pretty good deal. It's I'm earning some cash.
I mean, it's a hustler's
Just-
economy. You got to do what you got to do.
Got to do it. It's a hustle. Yeah.
What's it on? Well, I can't wait. I mean, I don't necessarily have my credit card ready, but
You're still paying off the debt from Madam X.
it's still hurting my wallet. But, I remember, as much as I spent on tickets to go see Madam X, because I didn't do it once, I did it several times, that you should, it's like training, right? Like she gives you time. You are in training. You train to not only stay up late, but to save your money.
Mm-hmm.
If you want good seats, if you want, the closest you can possibly be.
Right. You've got some time. Get that part-time job. There's seasonal jobs at the local supermarket.
Oh, yeah.
That you can help out at the farmer's market, washing some apples. Liberty, I think we just saw that you were at a local farm. So I think you were raking hay for the local goats.
Yeah.
And,
milking goats, that kind of
right.
thing.
You've got it. Whatever you can do to help raise some funds, it's.
Well, then you have to start doing your Karen Walker exercises so you can make it through the wait for the show to start and then the whole show to finish, so you don't have to leave and go to the restroom. So there's other training, not just your financial training. You've got to do your physical work as well.
Right.
Bladder training is key to Madonna concerts.
Lots of squats so your lower back doesn't give out.
Start planning your outfit. Start planning your outfits, because you don't want to be the guy who's planning last minute. Like I was so many times, like, oh my gosh, I didn't plan.
You pulled
this
that
very
together
well.
though. Your jacket was really good.
Yes, but sometimes I would add a show like once or twice, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, can I wear the same thing again?
Yes.
And they were
For
always
me,
so
I pick one outfit, and that's the outfit for all the tours.
Yeah, that's your
Put your
outfit
Vogue
for the
costume on,
night.
and that's your costume for the night.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
I mean, perhaps I should make something a little bit more sturdy, and that will fit a diaper, so that I don't have to.
Well, I did want to ask, did we all watch the Weird Al Yankovic biopic and see
did.
Evan Rachel Wood as Madonna?
I did.
And Liberty, did you see it? You have not seen it. Okay. For anyone who does not know, Evan Rachel Wood plays Madonna, but a very highly characterized version of Madonna. The Weird Al Yankovic biopic is a complete farce. It's all completely made up. I mean, it's rooted in reality in terms of it loosely follows his life, but it's completely comedy and high camp and hysterically funny. And Evan Rachel Wood is basically the villain of the film. It's quite funny. Ben, what did you think of her characterization of Madonna?
Well, I mean, like you said, it's like parody of parody. So I've sort of was like, okay, well, is she playing it straight because it works against the parody in the way because she's the villain? She nailed the voice. Multiple scenes, I felt like she had although the gum chewing drove me crazy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
weird.
She did not chew gum like that much. That was like twice in her entire public appearances she chewed gum like that, and it kept driving me crazy. But I thought otherwise she had like the voice and the energy. And I like how when they introduce her in the movie and you're sort of like, okay, where is this going with this whole fake thing? And she does this look after I'll just say after they meet and they're there together smoking cigarettes, and Evan Rachel Wood did this look, and I'm like, oh my God, that is so a look that Madonna has made in so many of her movies, which is then when you figure out, oh, she's going to be like the villain of this story. So, I mean, I say villain, I'm making air quotes, folks.
Obviously, Weird Al is completely fantasizing this, and it's all hyper reality, and none of
so
it is
fun. It's fun.
None of it's rooted in reality, and he's not making fun of Madonna. It's almost as if like Madonna is just like, it's not the Madonna we know. It's Madonna as a character in a biopic. It's very funny. I don't necessarily think Evan Rachel Wood nailed Madonna perfectly, but I don't think she had to, because she sort of just created her own version of Madonna, and that was like the villain Madonna. And sometimes she was really on, and then other times I was like, she's just Evan Rachel Wood. If you were on the fence about whether you should see it, cue it up. It's on what?
It's on Roku. It's on Roku.
Yeah, it's for free on the Roku. I mean, you have to sit through commercials, but whatever. It was good. So Liberty,
it was worth it.
You have your homework. There you go.
Okay, I'll do that.
Well, one thing I hope you did take in was the recent Rain maxi single released to streaming, which had the hip hop remix of Waiting with Everlast and Up Down Sweet.
Yes.
All lovely remastered and sounding beautiful. Ben, I saw that hand in the air. Obviously, you were jamming to it.
Oh, that remix of Waiting is one of my favorite. It's so different from the album version. And I normally don't like it when they add a rap, especially in that time period. Even though I loved like the stuff Jody Watley was doing in that zone at the time, at the time I wasn't into it, but listening to it now, I'm like, oh, that was nice. But also we got the video edit of Fever on the digital version of the Rain maxi single, which you previously had not been able to really get anywhere in that specific length to the video. So that was extra exciting as well. But Up Down Sweet and the Waiting remix with his name was Everlast, right?
Yeah, yes, from House of Pain. He's got a great voice. I remember loving his voice in House of Pain. And I think he fit in. I remember when that remix came out in the early 90s. And I remember just like loving hearing Everlast with Madonna, even though I'm sure they never met, but it still sounded, I loved that they lived in the same world for that remix. And I think a lot of people were saying her vocals sound different. Did she re-record her vocals? I think they just sort of cleaned it up a little bit. They do, her vocals do sound a little less gritty, but I think that was the point. I think they were trying to smooth them out for the remix.
I'm a very bad fan. I have not heard them.
Oh my!
I know.
And
I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hold on.
Listen.
Attention, listeners. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the MLVC podcast.
I can't help it. Like literally this year, like school is absolutely, it's kicking my ass. So I have next to no time, even though I have a commute and I could theoretically listen during that time.
I know that's when you listen to Enya. You have to zone out. It's
yeah,
fun.
like I need something that's
you do your meditations.
Oh, but Liberty, you could put the up down suite on a loop and just play it the whole time.
I could listen while I take a shower. I could while I'm getting ready, or I could. But I guess it's this. I'm trying also to distance myself a little more from my phone and from electronic. I'm actually trying to read more.
Lord,
I know,
what is
it's
happening?
weird. I feel like
well, hopefully you're reading Benjamin's poems. Plug. Ben's saucy poems will help tuck you into bed at night and help.
Well, I don't know about that. They'll tear up the sheets.
Rise you up early in the morning.
No, you know what the thing is that the last few times I have recorded with Ben, I have been so impressed with his by his language capabilities and the words that he chooses, where I think to myself, like, Ben has such a mastery and an eloquence that I don't possess. I want that. So I think Ben probably reads, and he's probably well read, and therefore I think I should probably read more.
And Liberty, this is what I'm going to tell you. You want to talk about reading? Let's talk about reading. And if you don't know that, shame on you, because that's a quote. that is a quote from, it's a wonderful documentary called Paris is Burning, and you should definitely
I've heard of it. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
See, but I have so many, like, I got to watch, I got to do, I got to read.
Well, look, it's not our fault that you had children. I mean, this is what happened.
It's not even
you
them.
had children.
They have their own.
You had children, and now you can't listen to Up Down Sweet or watch Paris is Burning. I mean, this poor Evan Rachel Wood in the Weird Al Yankovic biopic. I mean,
I've tried it. Like, now you're saying all of this, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck do I do all
don't
day?
They just go down to the creek and play in the water with their friends, and then you don't see them until you call them back home for dinner? I mean,
yes, that's what I did on the farm.
Yeah,
I send Lassie, go get the boys, and then Lassie runs off, and then she comes back and she like, the boys are in trouble, and I'm like, what, Lassie? The boys are in trouble? Well, let's get old Yeller, and then we get our other dog, and old Yeller goes down, and he tries to find.
Stop this movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've not watched a movie since 1984. So
yeah, really long.
I
was going to say what Little House on the Prairie episode have we just stepped into?
I'm such a loser.
Wait,
but
no, we just stepped into the backstory of the cousin from Who's That Girl that she played. Yeah,
Nikki Sue Trot. Yeah, exactly. Keep ruminating. We're gonna go back to Nikki's Revenge at some point. I'm telling you.
Oh my God, we need to write that screenplay.
Yeah, we do. Speaking of that time frame, the 35th anniversary of the You Can Dance remix album is coming up this week, and Madonna's team is releasing the singles version of that album onto streaming as a thank you to all the fans. I think it'll be great to be able to hear those songs, obviously newly remastered, and on just to have access to them on streaming. We'll be adding them to my gym playlist ASAP. And
now, this one I will definitely check
You've
out.
You've already heard it, haven't you? I mean, you should have. It's You Can Dance. It's been out for 35 years.
But I love You Can Dance. Like, listen, you guys are gonna come for me, and that's fine. My social media is so very Liberty. Go ahead, come at me. I'm not like the biggest fan of Rain.
Oh my!
Okay, I'm logging out. Bye.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm turning her sound
off
right now. Hold on.
I'm
done.
Do I
need to hand in my fan card?
How can I hang up on Liberty?
Where's the mute button?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God!
I'm going to delete her track for the rest of this episode.
It's just not. I don't get like
the live performance from Girly Show.
Okay, but that one I like. I don't know why, but I always feel like there was something more she wanted from that song, but she restrained to keep it like super vanilla.
I'm Liberty. I'm going to be sending you my Botox bill because the furrowed brow that I'm having while you try to get through this half-assed excuse for I don't even know what to call this.
Wait,
but this
are you suggesting that the title Rain on an album called Erotica, you thought it was going to be about something else?
Sex?
No, and in fact, I guess that's maybe part of my problem is I feel like it doesn't fit on erotica.
Oh, see, I agree with you that it sounds restrained, and I think that was part of the point is that it was right up to the edge of sort of letting it go, but so much of as that album progresses to the backside, to the second half, because it was very much, even though it was a CD, like I always feel like that one is very much side A, side B still in its construction. Yeah, like she has Thief of Hearts and then Words, and then it calms down for Rain, and then it just sort of like...
She was coming around the bend on, it starts out sex heavy, and then, after everyone's gotten off, they start thinking about other things. And maybe that, like you can't jump from Where Life Begins to Why Is It So Hard? It just doesn't work thematically. Right. So she had to sort of put something to soften the blow.
I mean,
we go from Rain to Why Is It So Hard to In This Life. I mean, these are heavy topics here,
Yeah.
Well, Rain also has such an orchestrally sweeping type of sound, whereas the rest of the sound for the album is so underground. To me, Rain is just sonically not the same as the rest of the record. I guess what I mean to say is it's not that I dislike the song. I just find it misplaced.
It's incongruent. Yeah.
Yes.
You can be in the shower, turn on Rain, pretend you're in the music video, open your mouth, let the water fall all over you. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly. Okay. I'll do it.
There's your homework. Okay. Check out the Weird Al Yankovic. Listen to Rain on streaming. Oh, well, so then I'm assuming you probably haven't heard the other new music from someone in the Ciccone family, which was Lourdes Leon. She released her new EP. What do we think of the Lourdes music?
Okay, so I'll just say maybe that's the reason that I didn't get to this Up Down Sweet and the Waiting remix, because I was checking out Go. There's so many things to say about it.
Let's say some kind things first.
I will because I like it, and especially Contradiction. But
I do like that
Contradiction. I liked that one, and I also really like obviously Lock and Key, but Pussy. I really like that.
Oh, that was my favorite song.
That's this Ben texts me at like 7 a.m, being like, "I'm obsessed with Lourdes' pussy," and I was like, "What? I haven't even had caffeine yet. Can we please save the P word for later?"
Well, she's all about it because, those videos are well.
Yeah. That apple didn't just fall off the tree. It grew a whole other tree. So
yes,
I ain't mad at it.
No, I mean, she looks freaking amazing. She's one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen.
Right.
Which I thought was funny because that's why then she, of course, releases this, like the album cover is her face smashed up against the window and she couldn't look more unattractive. And I thought, you know what? This is the plight of gorgeous people in the world, is that they think it's avant-garde when they make themselves look unattractive. And I'm like, oh, how brave of you, Lourdes. How brave of you to look not gorgeous on your album cover.
Right. Meanwhile, like literally every selfie I take looks just like that. And I'm like, this is not art. I don't know what the hell. Like, I don't know. I take a photo.
Exactly. I use like a beauty filter and that's what my picture looks like.
Yeah. Facetune the shit out of that. No.
So Liberty vocally, what did you think of her tone and its similarities to Mom?
There's a few parts on Contradiction where I hear it. Yeah. There's another part in Giovanni's room, I think, where she says something like, "My mom says I look lost," and I'm like, I can just hear it. Like I can almost hear Madonna being like,
"Yes,
granola, you look lost."
But I do feel that Lourdes is also is trying very hard to stay far away from the world of Madonna.
And she has
in her
100%. 100%.
If you listen to that EP, that music is like so far removed from a poppy Madonna song, and I think it's intentional. I think she wants to make sure that people know she's not chasing the coattails of her mother.
But she did film in the barn.
Yes.
Oh,
but
that's what I loved. I loved that she was using Madonna's horses, and it's like, the girl doesn't pay for anything. She's like, no, we're not gonna pay for rental horses. We're just gonna go to my mother's barn in the Hamptons. She's gonna be watching Kendrick Lamar. We'll just shoot the video. It's fine. She won't even know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think.
well,
but
also a lesson she learned from the tree. I will say this: after I listened to the EP a couple times, my first thought was, I want Lourdes to record Mer Girl. That was my reaction. I was like, I want her. Oh.
Well, I mean, sometimes when I hear it, I hear Little Star, which is strange because obviously it's, I think, a little bit of that drum and bass thing happening in her songs, that you feel a little starry. But otherwise it's this very light tone with otherwise serious lyric. From the things that Lourdes has publicly said or interviews that she's given, she doesn't sound this, very deep thinking. She kind of says fuck a lot, just like Madonna. But Madonna has a little bit
I will
more.
insert this in post, but or put it at the end of the episode. There's a wonderful little video that she had posted on somewhere. I forget where it was, but it was just to remind you that you indeed are basic. Something like that. And it lives rent free in my head. I just love it.
But I mean, I'm into it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed it.
It was okay. I mean, I listened to it.
It's not as fancy as you like.
Exactly. I don't think I'll listen to it again. Maybe if I'm, there you go, Liberty. If you need some tranquil music before your chaos at school begins every day, you can just turn on Contradiction before you get out of the car. Question, Liberty. Do you have an Annette Bening American Beauty moment in the car before you go into school every day? Where you just grab hold of the steering wheel and just scream at the top of your lungs.
It's the entire 30-minute drive to work that I'm like that.
It's just one continuous scream.
I mean, there's a lot of things that I could say, but as you all are well aware, Texas is still in the dark ages, and therefore it will be for another 4 years.
God bless you.
So, I scream every day all the way to school. And while I'm there, silently in my head, I'm screaming the whole time.
Okay.
And
well, there you go. Lourdes' music is here to save you.
Yes, it really is.
I added Pussy to my workout playlist. So
shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. I would love to see that playlist. Can you share that playlist with us sometime, Benjamin?
Maybe.
I'm almost afraid to know what else is on there. I'm thinking I'm thinking Perfect Drug from 9 Inch Nails.
No, not on my workout playlist.
Want to fuck you like an animal.
Well, that's all we've got on the docket for today, kids. But and honestly, I feel like we had a moment today. I feel really in tune and in touch with both of you and some of your private parts. And
wow,
it's that. So
I'm thankful. The first one today.
You know what? I'm thankful that we've had that up close and personal moment today.
Yeah, I am too. Always.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a contradiction.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-listen to that. I don't remember.
Oh my god, I love those two songs.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna have to go. Maybe it was. I think it was because Ben texted me first thing in the morning, and I was like, "Sure, I'll listen to it." I just was not in the mindset for it. Maybe I'll listen to it before I go to bed. Maybe it's a nighttime listen.
Oh, I was sitting in my office like pussy, 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 pussy. Like I was just like, I had to make sure. I had to be like, wait, I can't sing this out loud. For those of you who are not
somebody
will walk
to see Benjamin right now, he had some violent hand movements in his crotch, and I don't know what was going on. But thank God this is a podcast and not a video.
No, you need to go listen to it again. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. And there's so much happening. It's very interesting because there's so much happening in the songs but they all sort of sound alike. I guess that's one I think is a little bit of a detractor for me, is that I'm like, which one is this one? Which one is this one? Because they all sort of sound similar. Pussy is the standout to me, and Contradiction has this very dark sort of vibe.
Well, let's hope Madonna's music is just as stellar as Lourdes's new music. How about that?
Aye.
Thanks for chatting with me today. This was so much fun as per usual. And now that I've put the social stuff up front, I don't know how to end the episodes anymore. I've moved the social up front because I figure everybody tunes us out by the end of the episode. So they're missing the chance to donate.
That's right.
Oh, but I took Twitter out because I think Twitter's imploding, and
it's going to be gone by the beginning of December for sure.
There's no reason to promote us on Twitter because although I'm still there, I'm just there to watch the shit show.
I still get emails every day. Stefan from MLV's podcast tweeted, and I'm like, people still, I don't know, like. I always get the notifications.
I'm tweeting about you, so I
never get on Twitter.
That's why. Everyone, thanks for listening to this week's MLVC. We hope you had just as much fun as we did.
Yes.
I hope they did too.
I do.
I hope you had fun and that you can forgive me for not having...
Well, once you listen to Rain, we'll forgive you.
Lo siento.
Lo siento.
Up, down, up, down. Nighty-night. Bye.
Bye.
Sleep tight.
I'm off to
Bedfordshire.
Listen to Lourdes's pussy.
Enjoy. Don't let it keep you up at night.
Oh, I don't think that'll be an issue. Hold on.
Pussy.
Stop. Oh, no, I'm going to have nightmares.
It's so good.
It is.
She's like,
good.
I don't give a fuck about you. Yeah, let's go. I don't give a fuck about them either. Let's go.
Oh, jeez. Right, we're tuning this out.
Yeah, you should.
Put it in the bloopers.
Just here to remind you that you are in fact basic.